Look at me, burnt to. I started 30 seconds, a minute early. I just couldn't wait any longer. But yeah, ooh, a crisp. I mean, it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but at the same time, you can see how burnt I am. That's what happens when you spend all day out at the Red Bull 400. I see energy today, which is weird because outside of me, there's only one player college campus. So hopefully, before I continue, I do see it's very blurry. I see it's buffering. Can you guys hear me okay? Here to just make sure you guys can hear me. The Shamalama and are in the house. Okay, it must just. Oh, Captain Jack says it is buffering somewhat. Thank you, guys. We're going to try to stick it through here. Maybe I switch to data here in a minute. Switching anyway, so actually, we'll give it a minute. Yes, the Shamalama and Captain Jack are in the house. And in the house, we got Diane in the house. Scrolling, and that looks to be it for now. Spontaneous one, so didn't know how many people we would get tonight. I had the time. I had the time for the first time in 2 months, give or take. Since I've done anything on YouTube. That a little bit later. But to start off, actually, I see Brandon coming in. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you guys too. I see, where was that comment? Watched the race yesterday. Thank you guys who tuned in to Captain Jack's live, tuned in on Twitch and watched the race. We will discuss a little later on in this live stream. I am just to send notifications out and get some people in here, but any minute now, switch gears because I have a big secret to share with you guys. Keeping for about a week now. I see Nancy's in the house now as well. Welcome, Nancy. She does know what the big secret is today. My members got an exclusive post about a week sharing the big news. So thank you for being a member, and just know that I am positive shifting gears. I know I haven't been doing a lot of live streams, is to do with Rocky's health. Again, we'll get on that topic later. I have enough people in the house here. So what I am going to do is to share the news for you. Big news. I'm switching to my phone. I have this all planned out. I hope it works okay. We're going to go straight off my data. Allow. Oh my God, it is not Christmas time anymore. The last time I used my phone for live stream on YouTube, it was apparently Christmas. Okay. Shamalama did his duties today. $40 at Northern Waters. Ooh, there you go. what we're going to do is I want you guys to close your eyes for a minute with a surprise in 30 seconds, give or take. We're going to close our eyes. Okay, and I'm back. Can you guys hear me okay? Now that I am on my phone here, the wind is going to be pretty bad today. It is like high 80 degrees, very, very strong wind, so I do apologize for that. But I had to show you guys this. Big surprise, the big news. It has been a very, very busy week. Thank you, Diane, for confirming. Nancy saying audio and video, perfect. It's trying to get me to share a referral link with you guys. It's blocking the comments. Well, there. I bumped it. It's been a while, so bear with me. I gotta figure out how to do this again. It's been too long. That wasn't the button. Well, I guess we're gonna have to try this a different way then. Our big surprise is I bought a camper. I officially have a camper now. I can't see what I'm showing you guys on the camera since I can't turn the camera around for some dumb reason. But I got it all set up here at the college. And I am going to be working on getting it cleaned up a little bit and getting it all prepped and set up here. But I bought this camper last fall. Ooh, I'm in the shade. It feels nice in the shade. Bought this last Friday, and it had to be parked down at my mom's because of graduation and everything going on. So today, first thing in the morning, I went and picked it up, and now here it is. I see, Captain, will you be selling flowers at the airport? No. I'm still broke, Captain. I just bought a camper. I'm broke. And I didn't win the RedBull 400, so I'm really broke. Thank you, Georgianne. Thank you, Diane. Thanks, Captain Jack Red. Awesome camper. I absolutely fell in love with it. This camper I actually found about a month and a half ago, but it was right out of my price range. And there was also a lot of snow on the ground. So I reached out a month and a half ago, had told her, hey, this is what I can do. I can meet you tomorrow. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out back then. So literally the week before graduation, it's a Thursday, and my coworker was going to start selling her camper. Problem was, her camper didn't have an oven. It only had a small mini fridge, no freezer. Just wasn't to my liking. And this is something that Rocky and I are going to live in. So I need to be picky. This is what we're living in. So I was constantly going back to this one behind me, this camper, the listing for it. And I loved it, and I loved it, and I loved it from the very second I saw it. So I reached out again. Hey, I know you had a couple people come in to look at it, but is it still available? Because, a month and a half has passed by. It was still available. So she tells me people are coming
on the day I messaged her, it was a Tuesday. She said, I got someone coming Thursday and someone else coming Friday if that person doesn't buy it. So I told her, okay, theoretically, if I were to come up tomorrow, Wednesday, and I gave you an extra $100 cash, would you hold it for me until I get paid on Friday and can give you the full asking amount? And she said yes. So the Wednesday before graduation, I hurried up. It was an hour away, drove the distance, gave her the extra $100, and she kind of fell in love with me too. My story, and we just like really kicked it off. Really, me and the couple. They own a resort and a campground, so I was asking questions about that too because I said, you know what, that would be so cool to do one day. I could see myself doing it, and telling her about my grandma and how I got started in camping and everything. She knew how much it would mean to me. I did get teary-eyed talking about my grandma a little bit. And she could just tell it really meant a lot, and she wanted it to go to someone that would enjoy it just as much as they did. So she gave it to me for $600 less than what we had agreed upon. And bringing you guys inside here, I am going to put the door up because the wind is horrible. I don't want the door to slam or anything. I will try to give you guys a good view, but again, I can't flip the camera around, so I can't see what I'm showing you guys. But here's a little walkthrough of what the camper looks like. So it did come with some sway bars and a bunch of goodies, basically every single manual, mirrors for the Suburban, a water filter, just all kinds of different stuff. It came with the chocks or whatever those are. I forget the word. Brain's having a fart. It has been since the RedBull. But yeah, it comes with those for the tires to help stabilize it. It comes with an outdoor mat. It comes with covers. And as we come inside here, we got my bathroom. So nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. But this is the exact same bathroom that my uncle has that traveled with me in Arizona and is still living out in Arizona. So I know this bathroom works. And another fun thing about it is there is an outdoor shower. So when I have to give Rocky a bath, nice and easy to do. Don't have to worry about getting him in here to give him a bath. So plenty enough space, I think, for me in there. And then looking right next to the bathroom, we do have the full fridge and a freezer. So that is going to be huge because a lot of my food, even now, whether it was my apartment or the dorms, a lot of my food is frozen, freezer based. So a lot of that stuff, thank you, Captain. That is the word. Thank you. A lot of stuff's going to be freezer based. Another thing, though, too, with the fridge and freezer is it is propane or electric. Now, electric, I'm not really going to use much, but the propane is a big plus for when you're boondocking in the middle of the desert. You're not going to have electricity, or you're going to be running strictly off solar. So with that, I need propane for the fridge. And we got some storage here as well. On the sides, some storage over there. The sinks, I will show you guys the canvas pop-outs in a little bit. But yeah, nice kitchen, a full sink. You got 3 burners on the stove, plus my oven, which was a big one for me. A propane oven. I think that is really going to help me. A lot of campers that I've looked at, because guys, I've looked for years. I mean, even if we go back to way before I bought the bus, I was looking at campers. And a lot of campers don't have ovens anymore. They started getting rid of them because people simply don't use them when they're out camping. I will use them quite a bit, I think. So we have that, a nice couch here. That may or may not be my bed yet. We are not entirely sure how the setup is going to be finalized. It's going to take some trial and error, some testing out between me and between Rocky. But this camper was used for, again, a couple. So male, female, 2 people were in here, and 2 Dobermans. So it should be plenty of room for Rocky and I, because Dobermans are pretty big dogs too. So the fact that they had 2 Dobermans plus 2 people in this camper, I think it's plenty of room. Thank you, Georgianne, for the comment. It is so nice. I love it. There is more storage above the oven and stove as well. And then, of course, you got your microwave like you always have. I think Kobe's going to have to cook us a pizza. One thing about that I'm a little curious about is, unlike my oven or my uncle's oven, I think this oven, and you guys might not be able to tell on camera, I think it is a little bit smaller. So I am genuinely curious just to see how well a 12-inch pizza fits in the oven, for example. So there's campers, camping, and campers. How fun. Those are my C words for today. Well, I'll make sure to not draw your chip, Captain. Yeah, so we got all that. Some more storage. There's storage underneath this as well. Underneath the sofa. I can show you guys that because it's also accessible from the outside. It may be where I put my batteries and my solar setup. Not entirely sure on that, but I think there is some options there. And then, of course, right next to the sofa is my kitchen dinette, the kitchen table, the booth. That does turn into a bed as well. And there's storage under here. I don't remember. Yep, there's storage under there as well. So there is storage underneath the boots. And I know the storage on the right side actually opens up to the hot water tank and stuff like that. You got some fans in here that actually connect right to the canvas. So if you're sleeping in the canvas, you could have a nice fan if it's a hot day like today where it's 80 plus degrees. Funny, Captain, how we fluctuate from 50 degrees to 80, 90 for a week straight, huh? Yeah, so that's that. Let me kind of walk back this way. Kobe, are you coming to M25? Yes, I am, Georgianne. I called, and I don't know if I talked to Captain about this either. So good to know. Captain, I did call. I got the campsite set up. I'm pretty sure they put me on site 73. And they did tell me that you paid for 1 day, so I paid for all of the additional days for M25. So whatever the official dates are for M25, I will be there for all of them. All of them have been paid up front, all done and taken care of already. So let me pop out a camera here and just give you guys one last glimpse from back here. The kitchen, the sofa, the dinette, the fridge, the freezer, the bathroom. This little thing here, it is kind of nice, the art. Oh, it's so sunny. It is kind of nice, but I think that might come off the wall because I might hang up one of my paintings from Kenya or something like that on that wall, because obviously there's limited space to hang that kind of stuff here. And, you know, not everything's going to be able to come with me. So I got to pick and choose what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to sell, what I'm going to donate, what I'm going to toss, all of that stuff. And I think that is a good wall to hang up a painting on. Oh, liver and onions. Nope. I'd rather run up the frickin' Red Bull 400 again. I think it is way crazy. Yes, it is, Captain. Yes, it is. Okay, so moving over, giving you guys a little better of a sneak peek at the canvas here. I was concerned originally 3, 4, 5 years ago, even when I was looking at buying campers before the bus. I did not want these pop outs. One of the reasons why, and hopefully this shows up, oh, it will, because I already saw it as I laid down. Mildew. Mildew and mold. And there's quite a bit of it. Fun. So, me, in the 80, 90 degree heat this week, we'll be out here scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing to clean all of this mildew and moss off of these canvases. Now, the outside doors do have a little bit on it as well, but most of it is on the inside, just like this, looking straight up from the bed. So that is one reason I wanted to avoid them. Well, my aunt, for example, some of you might have saw her on Captain Jack's live stream yesterday. She has a complete pop-up camper. So she has done it before because she had mildew and mold and stuff in her camper. So she's giving me tips. I see Diane too giving me a tip saying use bleach water. I see Captain Jack even mentioning a tip here, so I appreciate all that. I figure, you know what, it's a little bit of work, but as you guys are kind of proving my point with it too, is it's doable. You can fix it up. You can clean it up. It doesn't mean that it's absolute garbage. And that was my mindset way back then was, oh my God, if you get mildew or mold, it's done. It's going to spread. It's going to be horrible. No, that's not the case. I've done my research now. I've talked to people, and it's possible. And one of the things is, too, I don't know, again, I don't know what the setup's going to look like for Rocky and I. I might not use the canvases very often. But reason number 2 I was avoiding them was because on a hot day like today where it's 80, 90 degrees, ooh, it's going to be hotter than hell. The AC might not be able to keep up anymore. It might be very hard, and it might be way, way, way too hot. Well, it's like 87 degrees outside right now. And in here, after opening the windows and the 2 canvases and those windows, it has dropped down to 82. So, not too bad. And that was after having this open for not even an hour. So it actually cooled it down. It did the opposite of what I thought it was going to do, which makes sense because when I had the bus, it was all about airflow. You wanted the windows to be open. You wanted the breeze to go through. You wanted that circulation and the airflow, which you guys are probably hearing the wind right now as I'm talking. I'm sure it's annoying, but again, I'm able to come out here, and right now, for me, it's relaxing. For Rocky, that's a different story. There's a reason he's not out here today. But it's good to know it's doing the opposite of what I thought, because I thought it could be a potential problem, a big problem. So that's good to know. I see Captain Jack. Half water, half bleach, spray on and wipe off. Cheap and easy, wear a mask. Williams also agreeing, bleach water, absolutely spray it on. And I do see Captain Jack commenting something. I just can't read it because the stupid referral link is right in the way. So once somebody else comments, I'll be able to see that one. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now with the canvases. These mattresses, actually, for if I'm in colder weather, and that's kind of my thing too. My uncle, he wants to avoid snow at all costs. He does not want to be in the cold. Personally, I don't mind it. I just don't want a lot of snow, and I'd like to avoid the snow as much as possible. The cold, not as big of a deal. Well, these mattresses in front and the one in back here, they are heated mattresses. 12-volt heated mattresses. So not only do you have fans that simply hook on into this here that can cool you off on a hot summer day, but if it's cold out, you have a heated mattress. Awesome. Then, okay, let's see. Captain's thing jumped. If you don't feel like mixing, use shower scrubbing bubbles. Okay. And then I can't see your other comment because of the stupid referral link. The other thing that's in here, a TV. We were not able to get this working yet. It's 120 volt. I want a 12 volt. I know they make 12 volt. So whether it's a TV or simply a computer monitor, some way, shape, or form, I am probably going to swap this out, get a 12 volt one, put that here, and we'll have that. We have the temp gauge. So actually seeing it drop down to 81 again. The gauge for the heater, the thermostat, or the AC. We got a charging center up here that I didn't notice until today. And then we got this cool thing here. Looks to me you parked your new baby in my parking spot at the college. They're all my parking spots, Captain. All mine. This bad boy, though, is Bluetooth, a radio, DVD, CD, MP3, MP4 player, SD card, USB. So it's got the radio on it. Oh, hold on. I forgot. I gotta turn the power on. So there is a deep cycle battery already hooked up here. And I do have 2 lithium batteries that will eventually get hooked up. I don't want to power things for too long because I don't want to draw that battery dead. But switch this to copyright strike. Yeah, so there's speaker on this side, on the right, speaker on this side, and then you come outside, and I don't got the outside ones on right now, but we got some outdoor speakers as well. So, not too shabby. Could have a nice movie night, or if I just want to jam out to music while I'm cleaning, you know, once I hook the deep cycle battery up to some solar panels, it'll be enough to play this thing no problem. 6.9. And I can't wait to just play with the Bluetooth and stuff even, because if I'm watching a TV show, stop talking, radio. I'm trying to talk. If I'm watching a TV show on my phone, maybe I could just hook it right up to this system and have some Bluetooth speakers to watch TV or a movie right off my phone from. So that's going to be awesome. My next word is clamping. Oh, we're getting there, Captain. We are getting there. Years of hard work, research, sacrifice. I think a lot of people don't realize even that you got to keep in mind a lot of this stuff I've been researching and attempting and learning since before I got this job 3 years ago. This has been something that's been happening since basically the beginning of this very channel 5 years ago. 5 years ago. 5 years of hard work, sacrifices, and research, all building to this next leap in my life. And as much as I have a tattoo that says seek discomfort, I want to make sure that I'm prepared and I don't have as much inexperience as I did with the bus the last time I took this leap. Another thing here, I said I will show you guys from the outside. There it is. Oh, another thing it came with, and I love this so much already. Aside of the sway bars, we got 2 propane tanks in there. As I mentioned, came with a deep cycle battery as well, but it came with an electric jack. So, love it. I do need to get a drill or something for the jacks underneath. But for that, it is an electric jack, and oh my god, I feel like I am going to love that so much more than I already do as soon as I start traveling. Brody, when I was there at his parking lot, there were deer just hanging out like they actually own the place, not Kobe. Oh, they're welcome here, Captain. I feed them. I feed the deer with my bare hands. The deer, we have foxes, we have groundhogs, we have rabbits, all kinds of wildlife around here. Let me see. That is locked up here. So let me learn what key needs to unlock this. Are you going to film the dynamiting of Copper Peak? I am not, unfortunately, because tomorrow I have to bring Rocky into the vet. And we will get to that in a little bit. Okay, well, I'm not going to show you guys that one because apparently I can't unlock it right now. I will show you guys under the sofa, like I mentioned. Because there's one other cool thing that came with this camper. So the space right underneath is a grill. So I have a grill and a table. And those hook up. Let me prop this open so I don't have to hold it. The grill and the table hook up right here for some outdoor cooking. So that is going to be awesome. And you best believe I am going to be grilling out in the middle of the desert. So Captain Jack, if you get out next fall, winter, spring, as we were talking, you might have to touch base with me because we might just have to have a little barbecue in the middle of the desert. And maybe a movie night with my projector and the Bluetooth speakers. Oh, the potential. The potential. Yes, but that is also the storage underneath the sofa. So as you might be able to tell on here, quite a bit of storage underneath the sofa. So I'm gonna do some research and some measurements, and we're also gonna see if I can fit my batteries under here, because if that's the case, it might be a good spot to put the deep cycle, the lithiums, the inverter, all of that stuff. But to be continued, to be figured out. So let me lock this back up. Because I see we've already spent a good amount of time on this here today. Make sure I shut that battery off. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I did, but I'm going to double check. Because as I said, I don't want the battery to die or be drained completely. Okay, yeah, it's off. Perfect. Yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby. Oh, they also have curtains for the beds. So that's kind of cool too. Kind of cool. Just the little things. So that is my brand new camper. Weighs about 3,400 pounds. No, 3,600 pounds. And it's about 19 to 20 feet, give or take. Fully loaded. It should never weigh more than 4,700. And the Suburban can actually tow up to 5,000 pounds. So it is the perfect weight for the Suburban as well. We will head back inside here now and transition back to my computer. And we will talk about Red Bull and all this other kind of stuff that we need to catch up on. You can fit them under there and dog food. Yep, there's a lot of space under there. I just want to make sure, though, before I do it, that I'm committed and that's the best spot for it. What's the temp in here? So 73 in here. I got all the blinds closed. And the AC's not kicking on. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, wrong key. Rocky probably hears me and he's like, what the fuck is he doing? There he is. There's the puppy. Hi. Hi, you. Where you going? He ran away from me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. Hi. So much fur all over the place. I told you you can't have treats. You're sick. You're not feeling good. Oh, quit your crybaby. Okay, let me take my shoes off and we will transition back to my computer. Give me just a minute here, guys. I will drop down.
And I'm back. Okay. Now I could see your comment link constantly being in the way. I see people trying to message me. So that is my big secret, the big news. Oh, this frickin' we're putting it on my data. Better than the internet. Hold on, bear with me. Bear with me. Because I'm not going to screw around with this. I'm just going to put it on my hotspot. And I'm back. Hopefully this works a little bit better. Kind of pathetic. I'm frozen. There we go. Still kind of blurry, but hopefully this works better for you guys. Pretty pathetic when I'm on a college campus with one other person on the entire campus and the internet's still having issues. No excuse for that. I see Captain Jack's comment now that the referral thing is out of the frickin' way. That's so obnoxious. You will become super conscious of power and signal strength once you hit the road. The good thing about me is I don't really care if I have cell service or not for the most part. Most 95% of the time I do. Um, but I've definitely found some beautiful spots. This summer, there's actually local spots that I was kind of talking to Captain Jack about where they're free to camp, but you're not going to have cell service. And that's where I'm going to be for most of the summer. So I can't guarantee a set schedule for video uploads or anything like that. But gotta do what you gotta do. I gotta save some money for driving cross country to get to Arizona and all of that fun stuff. So I'm gonna be staying at these free spots and yeah, won't have cell service or um electric out there, just my generator. So let's touch base on Rocky here because that'll be quicker and then we'll finish up with the Red Bull 400. Um, Rocky, for about 2 months, the last time you guys kind of heard, he was dealing with stomach ulcers. They gave me prescription food, a bunch of medications. For about 2 months, he's was perfect. Probably longer than 2 months, even maybe 3 months. I don't know. I lost track. That's how good he was doing. Um, and I did talk to the vet, and I said, "Hey, look, I quit my job. Excuse me, I'm tired from running the Red Bull still." Um, I told the vet, "Hey, look, I quit my job. I'm going to be moving out west. Um, is there anything that I can do? Like, is this going to be a lifetime thing, or what are we looking at here, basically?" And unfortunately, the vet thinks that at least his prescription food, Rocky will need to be on for the rest of his life. So that is $200 to $300 a month compared to 65 every 2 months. I think I was spending 75 every 2 months. Oh, yeah, rough. Um, but we'll make it work. We'll find a way. We'll do what I need to do. Um, so he's on that. He's on the medications still. They think eventually I might be able to take him off the medications. We haven't decided to do that yet, though, because this week he ran out of his allergy medication. Now, mind you, this was not a necessity. Um, During all the commotion, I just finally put my foot down. I was like, he's been scratching a lot. I'm sick of it. Like he's got to be miserable, itching all the time. I want allergy medication. So we got it. And he had it for maybe 2 months, 3 months. He finally ran out. I just chose not to refill it. And within a day or two, his eyes. The day I was asking for prayers overnight and that it was going to be a long night. Basically, I got back from a very long day of work because remember, graduation and everything was this week. Moving everybody out was this week. Um, I get back from a very, very like 12-hour day, long day, probably longer than 12 hours even, probably like closer to 15, 16 if I'm being honest here. I get back and he's got blood coming, at least it looked like blood, coming from out of the corner of his eye, halfway down his snout. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I look and I take a closer look, and not only the one eye, but both of them were extremely bloodshot. Like they were as red as the YouTube logo red. And I'm like, okay, this is not good. So I called the emergency hotline for my vet. For some reason, that night, nobody was on call. So the nursing system that they use, some nationwide thing, I guess. Oh my god, I'm so tired from running that hill. It's gonna take a while to recover. Basically, the nurse told me, hey, if it gets worse overnight, it might be something you have to handle within 12 hours. if that's the case, you're going to have to either go to Duluth or Wausau. And I'm like, look, those are 2 hours away. Like, should I just go now? And they were like, no, we think he can make it through the night. And when they start talking like that, oh, see if he'll make it through the night. Gee, you have somebody who's worried about the health of his dog, and that's the language you want to use right now? Yeah, could have chose some better words, a better way to put that. But if he makes it through the night, Ashland area vet that you normally go to opens at 8 a.m. And at that point, it's 12 to 13 hours, so you should still be good. So just give them a call right away. So I brought him in. They think it was just severe allergies, especially because he's not on the medication anymore. So they think his body just simply wasn't used to fighting the allergies as much as it used to. So then, being off of it, he had his allergies and they were amplified. Um, only today, only today, I would say, has his eyes kind of returned to normal, and part of them might be bloodshot just a little bit still. Um, but he has gotten better, at least in that front. But a little gross detail, um, he does, starting that day, I noticed he started to have diarrhea, and it seems like it's getting worse. He had some severe stuff um, this morning that I woke up to, unfortunately, and throughout the day today. Like when I went to get the camper, I was gone for only an hour or so. He couldn't hold it that long. So I don't know if he's having an allergic reaction to something in particular or if it's just allergies. But the fact that he's now having bathroom issues and the bloodshot eyes, we have an appointment tomorrow morning for a heartworm and tick test, and I'm going to bring it up to them and we're going to see what we can do. Again, I don't have a lot of money right now. I'm kind of cutting it close paycheck to paycheck, which is a situation I don't like to be in. I can do it. I used to live off of it that way. It's how my family always had to live, living off of future paychecks, even. So it's nothing new to me, but I don't like it. I don't like that at all. But we'll see what we can do. I see William asking, are you getting solar? Yes, absolutely. I already got 2 solar panels, like 200 watts um, total, 200 watts of solar panels. I have the deep cycle battery. I have 2 lithium batteries. I have a 3000 watt inverter. So it's all there. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to set it up yet or how much I want to set up because I know a way out in Arizona where you could get a 220 watt panel for $75, give or take. And I'm probably going to get one of those big panels. Don't know where I'm going to put it yet. That's another thing. Gotta measure. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Can you guys tell I was frickin' running yesterday? Oh, this week even. This week's been crazy. Both my grandsons graduate college this week. Ooh, the youngest with his associates and the older with 2 bachelor. Ooh, congrats. Please tell them I said congrats. That is a big accomplishment. I always laughed, and it's very ironic now in hindsight, especially. But I always used to joke like anyone that even goes for just an associate's, it is such a huge accomplishment because I know a year in, I wanted to quit. I was like so over classes, and that seems to be the theme of things. Um, that really does seem to be the theme. So, yes, that's I some people downplay those associate's degrees, but they're huge, and for me personally, that's what got me this job, and I really don't see a need for anything else, especially now that I have years of experience to go with, say, my business degree. Oh my god, Diane, how many people do you have graduating this month? You're going to be broke from all the graduation gifts, the graduation money. You're going to be broke and they're going to be rich. Thank you, Nancy. I'm trying not to yawn. I just can't stop now all of a sudden. Uh, how long before you are living in the RV? So I am working until end of June here. I have basically 5 work weeks left, and starting this week, they are 4 days a week, 9-hour shifts. That way we get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I'm a little unique because, for example, this week into the weekend, I have people moving in next weekend. Well, if I'm working during the weekend, I'm not going to work during the week because everyone else is working 36 hours a week. I am not going to work 60 to 80 a week. Nah. So, um, yeah, I fluctuate. My days are different. And also, like I said, I have 5 weeks left. Well, I have so much paid time off that you do not get paid out for. You just simply lose it. So I have so much paid time off that just my personal time and vacation time, I don't even think personal time. Yeah, just my personal time and vacation time, I can take 3 of the 5 weeks off. That's not including sick time, which tomorrow I'm bringing Rocky to the vet. I'm using sick time off. The following week, I have a dental appointment. We're getting a bunch of stuff done on my teeth before I lose insurance. I'm using sick time. I just went and got new glasses. I use sick time for my eye appointment and everything. If I go in and get medical stuff done, because we're going to talk about that with the RedBull. If I go and get that stuff scheduled and get it done, gonna use sick time for that. So it's gonna be a very interesting next 5 weeks, give or take. And similarly, on a personal level, I gotta transition everything. I also have to finish writing my book, edit, and format my book, and then publish it in 5 weeks. I talked to the English teacher here. He said he'd be willing to go through it and give me any edits, but he did recommend that it might be worth delaying my book until, say, August even, to give me another month where I'm not employed to work on it, because he said to write the rest of the book, like 20 to 30,000 words, to write that, edit, and format it, he's like, that is a very, very big ask. So we will see. One way or another, I will let you guys know within the next month if it's going to be published July 1st, or if I feel like I need to take some extra time, because as you guys know with my videos, even if I'm not satisfied with the quality, I'm not going to half-ass it and put it out there. I want to take my time and I want it to be done right, especially with a project as big as writing a 70, 80,000 word novel. Um, in regards to the novel, within the next week or two, I'll probably be doing a live stream. I'm hoping. I have to touch base. Me and the person that the book is dedicated to, we've been talking about a live stream where I dedicate the book and we talk about the journey and stuff like that. They introduce themselves. So we've been in contact. They just sent me a text about it, I think a week ago. Sometime the last 2 weeks especially have been a blur. They reached out recently, but yeah, I'll be probably doing that. We have my trip to St. Louis. I'm gonna be making a video out of that. I went out and I saw a bunch of waterfalls when they were absolutely raging here in the Upper Peninsula, the Western Upper Peninsula, because I stayed in Gogebic County. But as Captain Jack can confirm, there is a lot of waterfalls in Western Gogebic County here. And yeah, I brought the drone out and I have this awesome idea for it. So we're going to be posting a video of that too. Lots of stuff is planned. Similarly, I'm going to be making exclusive videos for my members, and I'm going to start posting those. A lot of the videos I have on here, I'm also going to transition to exclusive members. I'm going to half and half it. Behind the scenes, more personal, members only. The old stuff. But yeah, we're going to start shifting gears for that too, because to answer Nancy's question in a different way, she asked how long before you're living in the RV. How long am I living in the RV is another big question I got. Indefinitely. I don't know what the future holds. I don't have a set plan for how long I'm going to live in the RV. But that means I also need to work on my income. And YouTube can play into that now. So I want to do that $5 membership, and I want to make it so you get a lot of different stuff. There's stuff from Peru, Kenya, Switzerland, because of that Europe trip. There's a lot of stuff like that that I have, and it's sitting on a hard drive. I didn't put it together. And sometimes it's because I have to go with the flow and it doesn't fit in the scheduling. So I'm going to make some of that stuff exclusive to the $5 membership as well. And as a thank you to like Nancy, William, I believe, Nate, they've been paying this membership, the $2 or $3, whatever it is, for a while now, and I haven't really been posting. And, it's because I can't give him the T word because I don't want him getting sick. So I'm going to grant you guys access to those as well for a little bit as a thank you for keeping your membership. Um, I think that is only fair. $1.99. Thank you. Yeah. So it's $2. I don't think I will keep the exclusive videos on there for a long time. But I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep it on there permanently. So that way, if you can't afford $5 and you want to chip in $2, every little bit adds up. I got to think about it from a business perspective, and I want to give them a thank you for being members for so long, all that different stuff. Um yes. So the camper, Rocky's health, what the next couple month and a half is going to look like, couple weeks. And I feel like I'm forgetting something, but we'll touch on the Red Bull now, and then we'll wrap it up from there, unless I forget unless I remember what I'm forgetting, but I don't think so. There's a lot. It's been a long time. So, the Red Bull 400. Where do I start? The steepest race in the world, as I'm sure you all already know, whether it's from me or Captain Jack or the website, the steepest race in the world, and I ran at 2:45 yesterday. For those who tuned in to Captain Jack's live stream or to the Twitch live stream, or even just looked up the results, you may have noticed that I didn't finish. So, I have very mixed feelings, if you already can't tell. Very, very mixed feelings about this. On one hand, 6 months ago, and it was 6 months ago up until the Pictured Rocks trip with Captain Jack, Kyle, and Nate. During those stretches, I've had physical health issues. You guys are aware of this. There's days where it was very difficult for me to get out of bed. There were days where it was very difficult for me to walk across my room or walk across campus. Very hard to simply get out of bed, simply walk around, anything like that. I couldn't run for 2 years, give or take. I could not run in any way, shape, or form because I would get a very bad physical flare up with a sharp, intense pain. All until about 6 months ago. I went to Machu Picchu and I was hiking and I was experiencing this pain. But I hiked and I did some of the most difficult hikes that I'll probably ever do in my entire life. Um, and I was having those pains. But I started to learn tricks that helped with it. So then the RedBull 400 starts becoming a rumor. And I I start thinking, it's a rumor. I'm going to do it. I think they are going to bring it back. So I started training. I started doing I started lifting weights with my legs. I kind of filmed some of this stuff, but it's not worth making a video because I didn't get to wear a GoPro. Um, but I lifted weights with my legs, a leg press. I did a high tension bike, and I would do standing only on the high tension bike. And at first, I would do it for 5 minutes. And then the next week, I would do 7 minutes. And then the week after that, I would do 10 minutes. And in between those, the days where I wasn't doing that, I would go for a run. Whether it was on the walking track in the gym, I would run a mile, or on a treadmill, and then I'd walk a little bit, and I'd run, and then I'd walk, and I'd run. So all of this training. And then we have a mountain here, a hill called Mount Zion, right on the college campus. We started running up the face of that, right up the face of it. The incline is almost similar, Copper Peak, far worse, far worse. But people said it was close. I think it's Copper Peak is far worse, but um, we would train on that. And I noticed that my physical health was getting better and better and better. I was expecting the complete opposite, considering that if I ran even a little bit, and some days even not running, just walking, getting out of bed, I'd have these physical flare ups, these sharp, intense pains. If I was training, it was bound to get worse. But no, my limits were growing. I became more capable again. So now I could go for a jog right now if I wanted. I know I'm capable. I could go lift weights. I could go bike riding. I know I'm capable. So we get there, and I wanted to be a finalist. You guys heard me talk about that. Going into it, I didn't really get to talk about it much on the live stream beforehand. I knew the week prior, it was made up in my mind. You are not going to be a finalist. To be a finalist in the RedBull 400, generally for men, you have to run it in less than 7 minutes. No way. Just based off of running up the mountain here on the college campus, I knew I could not physically do that, and I was okay with that. So then I kind of shifted gears back to my original goals. Finish it. Finish the race. Going from general to more specific, finish the race. Beat my old time of 12 minutes, 58.3 seconds. And then I was aiming for the 8-minute mark, but my RA, Caden, that Captain Jack also live stream, his time was 8 minutes, 20 seconds. So beat Caden. From general to specific, those were my 3 goals for the day that I felt was realistic to my physical health. So we are running up the hill, and it kind of reminded me of being on those international flights because I got to the 100 meters out of 400, and I knew I'd have to start walking. That was the game plan from the beginning. And Caden, since he ran earlier, he kind of backed me up on my plan. He said, walk. Don't try to run. You were right. Walk it. Problem is, not too long after that, I just was feeling it. I was tired. I was running out of breath. So blurry. There we go. A big shout out. I will not name the person because I don't know if they'll get in trouble and I don't want them to. But person was able to get this alongside several pictures actually. And as you could see, I'm kind of in the mix of the tail end. I started up front, I ended up in the back. People started pushing past me, and you guys I know couldn't see a lot on Captain Jack's live stream. But people were pushing past me. They were tripping me up because I was going too slow, and I could not breathe. I love this picture, so I gotta show it to you guys. Because from Captain Jack's perspective, you guys saw just a bunch of little dots. So, here's from my perspective. Me in my tie-dye shirt and my black shorts. The balloon is where we started. Kind of shows you how steep it is. And way in the back of the balloon, you see a blue tent. That's basically where Captain Jack is. So all those little dots in front of that blue tent, well, a couple of those are Captain Jack and my family and stuff that was there cheering for me. Trying to see if there's any other ones that I could show you guys while we're here. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys this one because we had to. It was funny. As I'm running up, one of the search and rescue members watches me here on YouTube. Oh, it just won't focus now. Let me see if it'll focus if I take Georgianne's comment off. There it goes. So my tattoo, seek discomfort, the starting line, the people racing behind me, the jump. I got all kinds of photos, and I'll be posting more of them here on YouTube. But I wanted to point those ones out to kind of go along with the story because somebody, as I mentioned, search and rescue, they watch the YouTube here. And they pointed out the seek discomfort. They said, "You gotta live by that tattoo. Did you find that discomfort?" And I was like, "Oh, I freaking found it all right." Oh, yeah. I was probably at about 150 meters, and the woman in front of me starts falling and falling and falling. And it's starting to hold me up a little bit. But that's okay because I'm running out of breath. I'm not trying to get past her, really. Eventually, she taps out, and the search and rescue workers get her off to the side. I keep going. And what you guys couldn't see on Captain Jack's live stream, really, was at one point I also fell. It just, from underneath me, the dirt just swept out. And my aunt did get a video. I don't know if I'll be able to pinpoint it. Not that one. Let's see. Let's see here. You know, she got a video of it because I was like, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I can't find it very easily. I think that's kind of when it was, though. I'm walking in between the two search and rescues, and all of a sudden I just slip. It just won't focus on this either. Yeah, right there, you see me slip. So I'm struggling, I'm running out of breath, and I keep stopping. I just cannot breathe. And, with the training, running up Zion, the high tension, the bikes, all of it. Even my buddy Caden and like the other runners, they're saying your legs burn. You feel it in your legs. Your legs are sore. Even hours afterwards, your legs are sore. I'm sitting here and I could literally go run it right now. My legs aren't sore. For me, it was I could not breathe. I just could not breathe and I could not catch my breath. So I kept stopping, I kept stopping, I kept stopping. And my aunt got video of Captain Jack and everyone cheering me on, Kyle, um, everyone just cheering me on. And you can see on hers, she was able to zoom in and you could see I keep stopping. And I heard Captain Jack, I was watching his live stream this morning to see what he caught. And you guys could hear them kind of wondering, like, is Kobe gonna tap out? Is he gonna tap out? Um, I didn't tap out. They pulled me out. They pulled me off to the side. They cut me off basically. I did not tap out. If it was up to me, I would have finished. And I laugh because in Captain Jack's live stream, as well as in my aunt, one of the videos she sent me, you can see I'm almost to the top of the hill. And my aunt and Captain Jack are talking about how stubborn I am. And my aunt says if he's made it that close, there's no way he's going to stop now. No way is he going to go to that search and rescue. There's a couple times where I was talking to him about the tattoo or the photos or, I just can't catch my breath. It's not too bad, but I just can't catch my breath. And that's kind of what was happening in that moment that you guys really didn't get to see. And part of me wishes I would have wore the GoPro because other people did against it, even though it was against the rules and whatnot. But at the same time, I mean, I can talk to you guys about this. There really wouldn't have been much to see because I was stopping so much and trying to simply breathe when I physically couldn't. Um, so I get to the top of the hill, and what Kyle and Captain Jack had confused is they talked about a 10-minute cutoff for qualifying. That was not for finals. Again, for men, on average, you have to be 7 minutes or less to be a finalist, to be in the top 40 men. Top 40 women, I think, is a minute later, so 8 minutes if you're a woman, give or take, something like that. The 10-minute cutoff, what that is if you do not make it onto the ski jump, Copper Peak specifically, if you do not step foot on that jump within 10 minutes, you are cut off because you are considered too slow and it will start delaying the 15-minute race times. And they don't want that. So they started cutting people off at 10 minutes. So I get to the top of the hill. They go to give me a drink. I don't even care about the water. I just say the first words out of my mouth because I gave it my all of a sudden. I stopped and against my wishes, really, because I was thinking about it. I was like, should I stop? Yeah, you know what? Stop, take a couple more seconds, and then just really push all the way through onto the jump. I've been beating myself up over this. I really have. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Ever since the race, I've been beating myself up and I've been fixated on this. I get to the top of the hill. He gives me that cup. Did I make the cutoff? Yeah, you're good to go. Do you want to still keep going? Because remember, I cannot breathe at this point. I am not breathing. I don't know how I was able to even finish like 150 meters in because the very top of the hill is 250 to give you reference. 150 meters in, I'm sitting there thinking about my international flights going, I cannot physically do this. I have to tap out. Oh my God, search and rescue is going to need to rescue me. I am going to be one of those people. Like, I have to tap out. But I kept going. And I started passing other people that were tapping out. A woman that just got too tired. Another woman the one that was falling, she quit. A guy in front of me, he pulled his groin. So bad for him. That's got to be horrible. He pulled his groin. He quits. There was 2 other people during my race that also quit. One of them actually got to the top of the hill like I did, immediately passed out. They were over by the ambulance, had these paramedics. It was crazy. So I get to the top of the hill, the 250 meters, and regardless, I am not quitting. He gives me the water. Again, did I make the cutoff? Yes. Do you want to keep going? And I told him, as soon as I catch my breath, I'm getting up that jump. And he said, go ahead and step foot on the white part of the jump. As soon as you step foot on that, you will be allowed to finish. And then another worker overhears this conversation and she starts yelling, I don't know how much time he has. I don't know how much time he has. So I take the water and I'm not even really paying attention or concerned about that. I hurry up, I take maybe 3 steps, and immediately another worker gets right in front of me, a really big buff guy stands in front of me, puts his hand out right like this, and he goes, I'm sorry, I can't let you go up the jump anymore. And I had to think about this. I was very fixated on this. Did they cut me for medical reasons? Or did they cut me because of the 10-minute cutoff time? And I watched Captain Jack's live stream. I didn't hear them give a 10-minute warning. And up top, they were telling the workers throughout the live streams, you guys probably heard, 2-minute warning, 10-minute cutoffs, etc. I didn't hear any of that in person, nor did I hear it on Captain Jack's live streams. So I was concerned that maybe they just did it they thought I needed medical attention. I was able to use Captain Jack's live stream, the RedBull results, and some videos that my aunt shared with me. And by my approximation, and this really helped being captured on Captain Jack's live stream because I knew where I was at and I could pinpoint exactly in the live stream when the cutoff should have been. I got to the top of the hill and was just about to step on Copper Peak, and I was 15 seconds too slow. 15 seconds. So if I wouldn't have stopped one more time, if I would have jumped on a different rope and not sat back while that person was getting rescued by search and rescue, if I would have just gave it a little bit more oomph, I could sit here and play this game all night long. I have been for the last 24. It's actually 7 o'clock. I've been playing this game for the last 27 hours. I literally fell asleep in my bed last night thinking about this stuff. Because apparently everyone got a medal now. They cut me off and they still gave me a medal, and that bugs me. Because back when I ran it in 2019, it was only if you finished the race. And the last part is only 150 meters. It's still up a jump. It's still steep. It's still hard. But it's 150 meters and you already did 250 of it. As you can tell, I'm fixated. I cannot stop beating myself up about it. On one hand, because it's driving me nuts. I'm playing the what if game, or I could have did this differently. I could have did this differently. The first time I ran it, I didn't have any training. No one was there to watch me in person. This time I had a crowd in person and online watching me. And I was 15 seconds too late. And I trained for months upon months of consistent training, pardon my language, but busting my ass to the point where after my training, I was so sore I could barely walk is how hard I trained. And I was 15 seconds too slow to finish. And it was to prove to myself too that I was still physically capable. That with Machu Picchu, I did those hikes. Despite my physical health issues, I was still physically capable. I was still able to put my mind to it and achieve it. This was supposed to be that icing on the cake, the steepest race in the world. And there's athletes there, people that are athletic, don't have health issues, and they're tapping out, and I'm not, and I'm going to finish. So, on one hand, I'm beating myself up. On the other hand, as you're all saying, I finished the hill. I did not tap out. And if it was up to me, 15 seconds or not, I would have kept going. Despite the fact that I could not breathe for a majority of the race, I would have continued forward. The only way I would not have the only way I would have stopped is exactly how it happened. They cut me off. They pulled me off to the side. Whether it was time or medical, that was the only way I was going to stop. And they pulled me off to the side because of time. Not because of medical, because of time. 15 seconds. So part of me is, okay, you made it up the hill. You did the hill. And you know what? You were 15 seconds away. Instead of looking at it from a bad perspective, you were 15 seconds away from finishing the race. Because no doubt in my mind, if I got on that jump, I would have finished. Captain Jack would have been in that little area and he would have been holding the laptop to show you guys the TV screen, and you would have saw me struggling to crawl across that line, but you would have saw it. You would have. I would have finished. 15 seconds. You know what? To me, I am physically capable. 6 months ago, I could not walk across the campus. I struggled to walk across the campus. 6 months ago, I struggled to hike at Machu Picchu. I struggled to take stairs. That's another way I actually trained. Was I used to take the elevator all the time because of my physical health issue here at the college. I started climbing 3, 4 flights of stairs. I started taking the stairs every opportunity I could. So now day to day, I don't have the physical health issues I used to have. So to me, it's more than just the race, even. This completely transformed my life. It got me back on track to a healthier lifestyle, a more physically fit and more physically capable lifestyle, something that I thought wasn't even possible 6 months ago. To that, I'm definitely still a winner. I will admit, though, having this participation trophy, because that's exactly how I view it. Because when I got my medal in 2019, I told them, oh, I just wanted to do the hill and I was going to do the rest a different year. And they were like, whoa, hold on. Did you finish? Because otherwise, we got to take that back. It's only if you finish the entire race, the full 400 meters. Now everyone gets a medal, a participation trophy. I am not a fan of that medal. Not right now. Not right now am I a fan of that medal. I actually have it tossed on the couch and I could see it from here, but I literally just threw it on the couch out of sight, out of mind pretty much because to me it's a participation trophy and I did not earn that medal. You have to finish for that medal. Maybe one day when when the pain is not as recent, emotional pain, I guess you can say. Um I think I'll respect it a little bit more because of stuff like this. But going to Diane's comment too, do you think you overtrained? I don't think so. I don't think I overtrained at all. Because again, I just could not breathe. And I learned something during this. Apparently, after talking with a worker and getting to the top of the hill, I got a sharp, well, not sharp, but a rough, like almost pressure on the center chest and a little bit of a sharp pain, I guess you could say. Um, but I kept coughing, a very dry and rough cough all of a sudden. And I kept coughing and coughing and coughing. And it was so bad that I thought I was going to throw up, which is why you guys saw me with one of those bags. I had to ask a paramedic for one because I just kept coughing and coughing and coughing. And up until a couple hours ago, I was still coughing. Even today, I was still coughing. I was not fully recovered from this race until a couple hours ago on that sense. Well, I was talking to one of the workers there and she asked, "Are you a smoker?" No. I do have family that, secondhand smoke maybe. They said, "Well, if you're not a smoker, you should probably go get looked at because you might have asthma." Turns out there is a thing called um what is it? Exercise induced asthma. And it is a common misconception, a common problem where people like me think, "Oh, I can't breathe because one, I'm out of shape." And then when you start training, "Oh, I can't breathe because I just don't know how to control my breathing." That's why. Lo and behold, it could be that I actually have asthma. And that could be why I could not breathe. And over the last couple of years, when I am doing these physical hikes, these physical races, these physically demanding challenges, I'm having more of a hard time with the breathing. My breathing is getting worse and worse. It could be that. Could not be, but it could be. So, do I think I overtrained? No. If anything, I think I definitely could have trained more, even because part of me still, again, it might not be asthma. So, is it that I just couldn't catch my breath? Is it because I was not breathing correctly? I don't know. And that might be something that in the next month and a half I go get checked out for while I have insurance, if I can. Um, but that's kind of how it ended for me. I don't think so, Georgianne, because I felt good about it. And again, it's not just Copper Peak. I could be out hiking at Machu Picchu. I could be out listening to music on a sunny day, going for a jog, and I'm not able to breathe. It's and yes, when you run and stuff, breathing gets harder, but this is the last couple years it's become something different and it's become worse where it's just your breath is gone. Your breath is taking a good way actually to put it is if you get punched in the stomach really hard, you know how your breath is taken away? It's like that. That's how it feels. And no matter how much you breathe, you just can't get your breathing back under control. So, I don't think I overtrained. I don't think it was anxiety. Um, And it might not be asthma, but I think it is something medically, just like my physical flare ups, that I have to work on and look into and research a little bit more. So, on one hand, quite frankly, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm beating myself up over it. I'm fixated on it. I keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. I don't deserve this medal. I could have done this. I could have did this. Blah 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 blah. On the other hand, there were people that were athletes and they were tapping out of the hill. There were people way more fit than I was and they were tapping out. and you were 15 seconds away from doing the full thing. 15 seconds. That's practically nothing. So just a little quicker, and you would have finished. You would have been physically capable. I think so. Unless I had a heart attack or something because I can't breathe. I don't know, because that's still kind of new to me. I mean, it's there. I always thought I was out of shape. I always thought it's just because I'm not controlling my breathing. But maybe it's something more. Something to look into. But that is what happened with that. And yeah, that's pretty much the behind the scenes of the Red Bull 400. So afterwards, you guys, obviously, I didn't talk much on the live stream. I kind of came up to Captain Jack and you saw me go like this. And I wasn't saying to cut the live stream off or to shut it off. I was just kind of signaling to Captain Jack, like, I can't talk. I can't talk. Like, I'm out. I'm out. Don't count on me for the live stream. I'm done. Like, I can't do this right now. But that's because I was still coughing really bad. I was still feeling extremely nauseous, and your body temp too. The temperature outside was high 50s, low 60s. Good day to race, but the problem is when you're running and you're sweating, your internal body heat goes up by 30% or 30 degrees. Excuse me, 30 degrees. So then they warned us that when you get to the top, they actually had blankets, because as soon as you stop, your body is going to start crashing because that temperature is going to start plummeting back down to match with the outdoor temp. So you could get hypothermia, stuff like that, but it'll also give you a headache. So right after the race, I was coughing, having coughing fits. I was super nauseous, thinking I might get sick, and I had a headache because of the temp change. I just couldn't do it. I had to call it a night, and part of it too was I was pissed. I was pissed. I felt like I let myself down. I felt like I let the people there down. The people watching Captain Jack or Twitch for me, I felt like I let them down. So in the moment, I was pissed. And I just wanted to get away from Copper Peak. And my motto became, you know what? 1.5 times is done. That's enough for me. 1.5 times is enough. I don't got anything to prove. You know, even to myself, I gotta tell myself that. You don't got anything to prove. You did it once before. You finished the hill this time. You could have finished the jump. If you had been given the chance, you would have. And you've come a long way from just 6 months ago in your physical health. And that in itself is a very, very huge achievement, let alone climbing that hill, because it is not easy. So that is the Red Bull 400 for you guys. I am officially retiring from it. No more. I'm done. 1.5 is enough. Captain Jack said, "Oh, it's an annual thing. We should come back next year." And I said, "Captain Jack, it's your turn next year. Good luck." So I'm done. Maybe Kyle or somebody will do it next year. We'll have to see. We'll keep in touch with everybody. But I'm done. I did it my very first year at the college as a student, and it's kind of fitting that my very last year here at the college I also did it. So wish I could get you guys some videos. I'll post some photos. We could get Paula to do it. You know, I think Nate, he loves running when he's kind of physically like back again, able to run and whatnot. Because I know he was having some issues, I think, with that stuff. I think Nate would love to do that. I really think he would. I think it'd be right up his alley, more so than me. For me, I literally did it the first time because it's the steepest race in the world. And I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone. It was literally just so I could tell myself, "Oh, you finished the steepest race on the planet." You did it. With no training, not being athletic, you did it. And that's why I think I love the first medal so much, because it was so much outside of my comfort zone. I didn't know what to expect. I did not train for it, but I did it and I finished. Not expecting to finish. It's kind of poetic. The first time I ran it, I didn't think I was going to finish. I was just going to do the hill, and that was it. I ended up finishing. The second time I do it, I think I'm going to finish, and I only end up doing the hill. Is what it is, but I guess it also answers the question, um, who would win? Me from 6 years ago without training, or me now with training? Well, me 6 years ago without training officially wins, because even if I would have made it up in those 15 seconds, I would not have beat my old time. Not even close. It would have been significantly longer than 12 minutes 58.3 seconds. There was no way I was going to run up that jump in 2 minutes. No possible way, especially because of my breathing. Um, so that's kind of fun too. You got an answer now. Six 6 years ago, that version of me with no training beats today's version of me without or with training. You're getting old. Your body's just not as physically capable, and that's life, the circle of life. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. For those who tuned in to Captain Jack's live stream yesterday or to Twitch, thank you. Nancy, Captain Jack, William, all my members who have been paying for memberships even though I'm not active the last month or two. Thank you. A lot has been going on, but I'm on the final stretch now here at GCC. I got some fun stuff stored for videos, for my book, and then I'm officially going to be a nomad again in 5 weeks. I'm almost getting emotional just talking about that, just saying it out loud. I think that might be the very first time I've said that out loud. In 5 weeks, I will be a nomad again. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. That is all the stuff I think I had for tonight. Stay tuned. Like I said, in the next week or two, I'm hoping to do another live stream with a book dedication. We will see if we can work something out between my guest and I, between our schedules. And yeah, I'm going to try posting a couple videos as well. So just keep your eyes out. I don't know the days, I don't know the times, but they might be coming. Yeah. So have a great night, everyone. Oh, Captain Jack, too. Captain Jack, Kyle, the gang that all showed up in person yesterday. Thank you. Thank you again for that. Um, especially Captain Jack. I did not expect it at all. You said it was supposed to be a surprise, and it very much was a surprise. I had such a rough and hectic day on Thursday because of Rocky's little vet scare. And to get a little text from you, hey, I'm at the Golden Dragon. I was like, what? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like everything. I was like, pause. Like, I told the RAs, you guys got to watch the dorms for an hour. I got to go see if he's still over there. So I really appreciate that, Captain. You really caught me off guard. And, I used to be the person that did that to others. Rocky's previous owner, I surprised him coming back from Arizona my very first year I was out there. I surprised him, just like you surprised me. And I've never had someone do that for me, to me. So that honestly really means a lot, Captain Jack. It really does. It is just another reminder of how amazing my circle is, the community here, in person and online. And I think it's a testament to YouTube and our channels as well, because like you, Captain Jack, we met online first before we met in person. So I think that's just such a powerful message. Um, and I really appreciate that. It was a very, 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 very pleasant and big surprise. I thought you were still out in Arizona for all I knew, because I haven't been keeping up with YouTube. So definitely caught me off guard. As Nancy said, take care, everyone. I gotta go eat some dinner and feed the puppy dog. I'll see you all on the next adventure.